Hello again from my front porch. I am in Ohio right now, outside of Cincinnati, but Sharonville, Ohio. If you want to be really specific, kind of in that neighborhood. But I am not just here standing in front of trees. I am actually at a really, probably one of my favorite front porches. It's a mobile front porch. Actually, it is an entire, well, you could call it a mobile home. It's more like a mobile vacation home, a really customized vacation home. And I want to show you this mobilized vacation home here. This former, which first of all is green. You know, I love green, but it's this former school bus. It's been repurposed into an absolutely fantastic little traveling vacation home by my good friend and actual team member, Tony Weisbrod. Hi, Tony.
Hello.
So this here is Tony's. Well, right now, this is Tony's front porch. See, right here, where he's standing. And so we're gonna show you his little show here, his little home. It's like I'm trying to avoid calling it a mobile home because it's not. That is not really fair at all.
Tiny house on wheels.
Yeah. So in fact, let's just step inside and take a look at what's inside. All right. So there's where Tony drives from. And here is Tony's home on when he's his vacation home. Yes. I still think that's a good definition.
Yes.
So Tony, tell us about this bus. What's the history of this particular bus?
It is a 2000 International Bluebird school bus. It was licensed in Indiana and decommissioned in 2018. That's when I got involved, purchased it, and it's been an ongoing process from then.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. Well, here, let's just take a look here a moment. So you come in the door and you've got this couch, but this is not just a couch.
No.
What else is this?
Yeah, well, you can fold the bottom up. It lifts up for storage. It also slides out to it opens up to 44 inches. The cushions pop down, and that I consider my spare bed because I normally don't use it. I've used it a few times when I've had company. This is the main bed. It's a Murphy bed. This folds down and it lays on this ledge here, and this is a queen size bed.
Wow.
Yeah.
So let's not bypass the kitchen here.
Oh, okay.
The kitchen is pretty cool. Now, obviously, you did not make the stove.
Nope. The stove was purchased. The faucet was purchased, and then the wood individually was purchased. This is plywood, and it was the most inexpensive plywood I could buy at the time. And I just pieced it together as I went.
But you used the plywood and you built your
the
cabinets,
everything, yeah.
And what about this gorgeous countertop?
It was one slab. It was only 10 foot long. Obviously, it was wider. Cut it in half. It's 2-inch butcher block. Yeah. But they gave it to me. It was a slab. I did cut it. Router to make it fit and fit the means.
So, and what do you got going on here? What I see? There's this cutout here. What is that?
That's the double bowl sink. This pops out, and it can it's a stool or opens up your sink, so you can actually wash dishes. Deep sink. I bought the sink itself. It was not an undermount, but I made it that way. I like the added depth.
So now I'm already picking up. We're already picking up that. Things in your little vacation home here have multiple purposes.
They have to. If they don't serve multi-purpose, you're wasting space. And I learned that as I went. I did no research at all prior to this.
Charged in blind.
Just charged in blind. My son, who's now 26, he was helping me build it. He was going to take over, and this was going to be his vehicle. He decided it was too long, so he went with a Sprinter van, which he built a year later, and that's what he currently owns right now.
Cool. Yeah. So, what else we got back here?
Full-size refrigerator. This runs on 110 electric. Okay. But the bus itself is solar power. So it's 100% off the grid.
And your solar panels are where?
They're on the roof. I've got four panels, each 300-watt panel. So I've got more than enough solar power for the daytime, obviously. But then at night, the solar panel all day charges 4 batteries, and those batteries power me through the night. With that, those batteries create 12-volt power. You run it through an inverter, and you make 110. So that's how this can function.
Wow.
So if you do the math right, everything works. I've went 4 days without the sun. So
wow.
but I was
those batteries store well.
They store well. And I was very, very sparing on what I used.
Yeah.
Because I have a microwave in one of these drawers. Obviously, you know, a coffee pot. I don't even drink coffee, but I've got a coffee pot.
Oh, what a good host.
Some creature comforts. And as I use those, that comes off of this, which is 110.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've got 2 different systems set up. I've got 2 inverters, one to run the refrigerator, one to run the kitchen. So if one breaks, I just unplug and plug in. So I've got a backup.
Cool.
Backup plan.
Speaking of back, what else is back here?
As you come back, this is the Murphy beds here.
Yeah.
Solar controlled chargers here.
Oh, hey, what's that? What's that mysterious black box?
This mysterious box is. This is where I keep. I'm not a big gun fan, but I do own a few guns, and sometimes I'm skeptic on where I go and what I do.
Yeah.
So it's hand coded for my hand.
Okay, so nobody else can just get in there.
Now I'll show you, but we have to be careful. It's a loaded.
Okay,
loaded
here,
gun.
let me step back a bit because I don't get too
because
close.
I like to be protected at all times. Here's the gun. So watch out, I'm loaded. So we'll leave that be.
Hopefully you're not driving loaded.
I do have a concealed carry permit for my bang gun. These are all slide doors. This
it's like
is
your pantry.
My pantry. It's pretty sparse. This is leftover from last year. It's canned goods. They're good enough for me. When you're hungry, you'll eat anything. And on this side, both these slide open.
Now, what you got going on here?
These are the states that the school bus has been in. I've been in all the states except the very northeast. But last year, I took some time off, traveled around the country in my bus, as well as did some hiking. But I left Ohio and went down around and kind of meandered all the way through up the west coast to Washington, then came back through. And for some reason, I missed Colorado. Kansas, I don't know. I drove this, I think it's a 70, almost, but I didn't step foot, so I can't scratch it off.
Looks like maybe 80.
Yeah, it was 80. That would probably get 70's a little bit lower.
I say that because I see that one of the places he was, Iowa, right there.
Iowa.
Drove right by the front. If you were on 80, you literally drove right by the front porch.
Yes. So that's where this bus has currently been, with me being the operator of the bus. Yep. Obviously, I knew it came from Indiana, but I don't know what trips they made. But I track where I've been and everything in the bus, any artwork, stickers, or from the bus trip that I've taken, and with multiple people and friends, but it's where the bus has been. As we come back here, I left the space.
Oh, I should have checked that before I got in here.
10-ton weight limit. That is the true weight limit of the bus, so I can always remember how much weight the bus is. Because,
it's hard to overlook that.
Well, there's some bridges you have to know your weight limit. Back here, I've got a hot water system on demand. It runs off a gas tank, which is stored under here. I've got my sensor back there, so I've never had it go off. Everything's good. On-demand heat, I love it because I'm not wasting time heating up water. Over here, I just installed this last year. I made that myself. I make these and sell them, but these are railroad spikes, but something in a little shelf. I didn't have a mirror. Some complaints from my friends, you don't have a mirror in this place. I said, well, I never look at myself, so it didn't matter. So I put a mirror up with this, hang coats and stuff. This small room, I'll let Paul go in. This is the bathroom. It's nothing special. It's a composting toilet.
Oh, it's a composting toilet.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
So you need to clean it yourself.
A shower.
And a small shower. I'll turn the lights on so you can get a better see.
Ooh, that's styling. You know, there are people in New York City paying top dollar to shower in a stall like that.
Obviously, when you take a shower, you sit down, and I call it a bird bath.
Hold on a minute. I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm standing here looking at this, and I'm thinking that I'm right here. The ceiling's right here, and you're a bit taller than me.
Yes. So it is a little tight, but then again, I don't spend much time in the bathroom. There is a slide door. It kind of sticks. I should have used a little bit more ball bearings, but this will give people privacy. I never close it because I'm by myself.
Well, you're the only one on the bus.
90% of the time. But there is a door. People said, "Do you even have a door?" Yes, I do.
So what's this? What's this rope here? Is that for tying people in?
I'll show you how it goes down real quick.
Oh, that's for the Murphy bed.
Murphy bed.
Yeah, okay.
But I'll pull it. I'll show you. My dad made this all out of wood for me. He said he wanted to have some components.
Oh, that's cool.
In the bus.
Yeah.
And why do we? It's called a block and tackle. Why do we do that?
Because it looks like a block and tackle.
Everything I make is made out of true 2x4s and plywood and reuse, repurpose, and it's very heavy. This way, it gives you the option, your mechanical advantage. I'm not going to put all the way down.
Yeah.
But the bed will go down.
Oh, wow.
And then obviously, as you pull it up, I bend my hand like this. I never wrap it around my hand like an alligator. If it bites you, you'll be let go of it. And you slowly pull it up, and then I just pull that out of the way, and then I secure the bed. These are actually tie downs for a Volkswagen Bug. If you were going to Baja to put the strap on the trunk compartment, that's the front of a Volkswagen Bug. I had a couple of those left over from a project years ago, and I thought,
like
perfect,
you said, repurpose.
Repurposed. I'll lock this back.
Yep.
Notice the shelves up here. Shelf pipe. I just like this different look. How do these stay on? Velcro. Velcro is your best friend.
The magic tool of Velcro.
You'll notice on the refrigerator, there's Velcro. Why is that? Driving down the road.
Oh yeah, you don't want the door
it
just
will
swinging
open up, and when it opens up, the stuff falls out. So I learned that the hard way, and decided to put a little Velcro on there. So it is a work in progress. Everything you do is you do because of some failure, and you need to overcome it. And like we're talking about double purposing, the skylight right above your head, you'll notice there's Velcro on the side. Well, this mat right here is cut in the same shape.
I'll bet if you flip it over, there's Velcro on the bottom.
The carpet actually will stick to the ceiling.
So it can block it, so you can have darkness.
Yes. Why are there hooks here? People ask me. Well, I can lift this up. There's a little dust in there. Open. This is the skylight. It completely opens by hand. I put a stick to hold it up, and I can put a fan, a full-size box fan, a full-size box fan, and I hang it right here. So I can either blow air on me
circulation.
Or up while I'm sleeping. And those are just things I've learned. Like I said, you learn by failure. Either you accept your failure, or you continue to get stuff.
It's a good thing you have that mirror there.
Exactly. or you continue. Fire extinguisher. I have 2. You only need 1. Carry 2. Why? If there's a fire in here, you want to get out and put the fire out. So I have 1 in the front, 1 in the back.
Well, and also, if the fire's back here, but the extinguisher is way up there,
you might get stuck on the wrong side with the bed down. So I do the safety aspects, and I follow all requirements of that. This is my whole charge. The charging unit comes. This is the brain box of the system. I have 12 volts right now. That's coming from the battery. That's good. It's a 12 volt system. As I turn these off, that was the lights in the bathroom, the lights over the bed, the main light area, and then the front area under the counter.
And of course, I would assume that, for whatever reason you turned all of them on, then you're just draining the battery faster.
Yes, but these lights are so low voltage, I could probably run the lights for 30 days.
Are these LED lights?
Yes, they're LEDs in 12 volt systems. So they're very economical, usable, and they weren't expensive, like $3 or $4 a piece on Amazon.
Okay, so where's the rope lighting and the disco ball?
It's coming. I said it's a work in progress. And if you notice, one of the last things I put in were curtains, because I didn't realize, but I had somebody tint the windows for me. The things I did not do, I had new rubber tires put on. I did not do that by myself. I had somebody outsource that. I outsourced the tinting of the windows. This bus was not tinted. Then I became a zoo exhibit at night. In the nighttime, I turned the lights on, and I couldn't see out, and everybody could see. I'm like, this is bad. I never walk around without clothes on, but it's not polite for your neighbors.
Yes.
So I put curtains, and I said, well, I've got some spare copper. We have spare parts at our house, so I said, I'll put spare copper just to break up the silver and gray that we have. And then I made, on one of my business trips at night and weekends, I didn't know what to do, so I thought, well, I can measure up and I can make all these. Because it was iron on. So I can do that at the hotel. And that's what this is for. Why is it waved? I've got a curtain that goes from here, and it comes halfway. Then the other one flaps over. So that way I can have 2 sides, and the seat's not, the actual bus seat is not in the way.
Well designed. Nicely done.
I would always change something in hindsight, but I'm very pleased with this design because my son came up with it. Because remember, this is going to be his bus.
But this is an awesome bus. I mean, I think it's so cool every time I get a chance to see it. And again, I love the green. This is fantastic. How long did it take you to actually? And I know you say it's a work in progress; so it's never done.
Correct.
But to get to what we're looking at now, how long did it take you to do this?
A solid 6 months.
A solid 6 months, because of your massive wealth of experience in having done these kind of projects before.
Well, I've rehabbed houses with my father, so I understand construction.
Yeah.
Plumbing, electric, not mobile, but it's very similar. You just need to tighten it. I say glued, screwed, tattooed. It's got to be tight, otherwise it'll loosen up.
I want you to catch that all this stuff you saw here in this bus, all this stuff that you saw here, he did himself without having ever done one of these kind of projects. Never done one of these kind of projects. But he did it in 6 months because, well, he's done stuff. He knows how to do stuff.
Yeah.
Now, out here, this side of the bus. Well, first of all, the solar panels we were talking about.
Correct.
Those are up on top of the bus, up there. And then what you got in here? Because in actual school buses, this is used for like band instruments,
correct,
and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But
so in here,
what's this one?
The locks are just for show. You could break in very simple, but that's the honest thief, if there is one, keeps them out. All my solar power stuff, so the batteries.
Mm-hmm. The 4 batteries.
An extra generator. I do have a generator just in case, a small Honda generator, and I've got a gas can that is empty at this moment for pure backup.
Well, you weren't using the bus right now.
I have not been using this bus
except for today, right now.
Yeah, today.
So if we go around the back of the bus here, what do we see around the back of the bus?
Around the back of the bus, the most current thing I've done is I've cut the bumper up and over, put hasp on it. I can unlock this. I can show you I'm not going to open the whole thing, but I'll quickly show you. This lifts up, and then I can grab a hold. It's very solid. This is an 8-foot ramp, so I can put a motorcycle in the bus. And so far, I've had 2 motorcycles in it in this year. I pulled them in. We haven't went anywhere, but 2 motorcycles fit: a Harley Davidson and a BMW adventure bike. So that's to load things. Okay.
Well, and so it's like every U-Haul truck that I've rented has the little ramp that pulls out so you can wheel stuff up and take it out. That's what you've added to your bus. Yeah.
Right here, this is the water tank. The water tanks in the side. Anything that associates with water goes here. There again, the locks. And right here's an outdoor spigot, just in case you want to wash off outside. So I can wash off my feet here.
Yeah. So after you've done your trail hiking.
Yeah, trail hiking.
Which he does a lot of, by the way. That little trip, that little time off he said he took. What was it you did during that?
1,150 miles of the Appalachian Trail.
Yeah.
That's just a touch over halfway.
Yeah. Just little stuff like
Georgia
that.
to Pennsylvania.
Yeah. All right. So up here, then we got 2 more little hatches.
This is completely open, free storage. Anything goes in there. Currently, the tools that built the bus are in here.
So if you need to repair something in the bus,
it's 100% ready.
Yep.
This is the small box. That's where the actual battery for the bus is.
Okay.
And that's it for this side.
Yeah. But then around the front of the bus, you got to see this, people. This is now. Before we see it, tell me the history. Where did this come from?
I was in Texas at an art show, and I saw something that caught my eye. I thought that would be a great hood ornament for my bus.
Yeah.
Because nobody notices me in this bus.
Yeah.
So I thought, how could they separate me from
you
every
stand
other
out?
School bus? So I bought this hood ornament, and I thought it would be best if I wired some lights to it so you could see me coming. So that
all
was
right.
the creation.
So
of that.
there's your background story. Now, let me show you this hood ornament. Let's come up here. Take a look at the hood ornament. Now, first of all, keep in mind that the bus we've seen pretty homey.
Yes.
Pretty conservative in some respects.
Yeah.
So now let's take a look at the hood ornament. Ta-da! Look at, and then it's got the glowing red eyes, which I'm sure at night or at dusk, I bet that red glows massively.
And I normally don't operate down the road with it because I don't think they like red in the front.
Yeah.
But I like that color of all the colors. So I thought that'd stand out.
Yeah. So Tony and his hood ornament. That's great. So here, I gotta step out this way. You see Tony and his mobile vacation home. It's excellent.
Well,
Good job.
Thank you, Paul.
Excellent job with that. I told him that every time I get a chance to see him and his bus, I am continually impressed. Now I couldn't do anything you've done here.
I've got a little bit different background.
Yeah, but I'm impressed. It is fantastic, and we took a little ride in it too, and it runs pretty good too. It drives along really well.
Yeah, it's fair.
In fact, here let's show them what it looks like to take this thing for a little bit of a ride. Looks like it handles really good.
Oh, I'm very, very pleased with it.
Did you have to do much mechanical work to it?
I've had to put this is an air brake system. Excuse me. So the brakes are run by air.
Was
no
that
air.
that was not in?
Yeah.
Was that in your bus originally?
Yes.
Okay.
And how air works is no air, no go.
Uh-huh.
So if your air compressor goes out, it doesn't work. I need an air compressor. So luckily I was not stranded. It was hanging on by a thread. I got it to a professional service guy because I don't do hardcore mechanics I don't do engine stuff. I probably could if I Googled it and looked, but I'm not a paid professional and I want it to work all the time. So I have a service guy do that for me. So that was the major, that was $1,100. And I think he gave me a fair offer on that. And
Other than that, it seems like the school district that had it must have kept it in good shape.
they did good maintenance on it. They had records. I believe them. I don't know why I wouldn't. But yeah, they did a good job. You know, it's from Indiana, so there's a little bit of rust on the bottom. You'll see rust on the sides and stuff.
Well, how old is the bus? I know you said it was in service in 2018.
It was 2000.
Okay.
2000 International. So the year 2000.
So it's 23 years old.
Yes.
That's not bad.
No. But it drives decent. I mean, it's 36 plus feet long, really not 38 feet. I like to say it's a little over 35 to get to state parks, but 38-foot bus, 8 foot wide, so it's not much wider than a normal car. Typical drive lane's 12 feet wide, so there's plenty of room, but you're sitting up high and it really seems to be big. But remember, wherever you go, it will follow you. So it's not too hard to drive. You need to be careful when you're backing up, doing certain maneuvers, but it's not too bad. Overall, I'm pleased, and as long as you're not in any hurry, things will be fine. So if you're in a rush, this is not the vehicle to drive.
I can imagine. This is for enjoying the scenery.
Yes.
Yeah. So, like, what kind of gas mileage and stuff does it get?
That's where it gets a little dicey. The fuel mileage, it's diesel. The fuel mileage ranges. The best I've ever gotten, the best, was about 12.5 miles.
Ooh.
Okay, per gallon. And that was highway with a nice wind pushing me.
Tailwind.
Typically, and the worst was 7.5. That was going up the west coast, but the scenery was beautiful. It was worth every penny. And my whole house was with me, so it made it's fair. But your fuel can get up there in cost, so you need to keep that in mind. But there again, you've got every creature comfort you put in it, so it kind of pays for itself.
How big is the gas tank? How much fuel can you take on?
About 60 gallons. And
so then when you're mapping out those big adventures, are you mapping out gas stations along the way?
Since it's diesel and I'm normally paralleling or on a highway, there's diesel stations almost everywhere because of the semis. And the only state that I had not a problem, but it was a little bit more difficult, was Oregon.
Oh.
Because in Oregon, they pump the fuel for you,
which
is kind of unique. But then again, I found out they do that for gas because it's more combustible. Diesel's burnable, and they let me pump my own fuel. But I kind of caught their eye when I pulled up and said, I need 60 to 65 gallons.
Yeah.
They said, you can do it yourself. But
And
yeah.
do you have a spare gas tank, or do you just use the main gas
It's
tank?
got one gas tank, one gas gauge, and I've been nervous a few times. Because you don't want to run out of fuel with a diesel.
Yeah.
It's a little bit harder to restart the engine, prime it and stuff. But you learn as you go. You kind of plan your route and just be cautious of where you're going. Driving up the West Coast on State Route 1, that's the farthest West Coast road there is. Very narrow. To my left was the ocean, to the right's mountains or rocks.
Wow.
And some of the turns were a little tight, but I got by. Remember, this is a school bus. Most roads are designed for school buses, so you're in good shape. Just pay attention and take your time. And nobody really gets mad at me. I've had 2 people honking at me for going too slow, but most people just wave. They think it's fun, you know.
Well, especially once they come around and see the hood ornament.
Oh yes. Yeah. And you'll notice as we go uphill, we'll slow down a little bit.
It has some get up and go
It's
to
got
it,
to
though.
get up and go, but when it goes up the hill, it kind of wants to slow down just a little bit. And this is not the mountains of the West.
Yeah.
This is Ohio Little Hill. So,
what? You probably had even worse time.
I've been going on the highway at 22 miles an hour up a hill. Woo! But the semi in front of me was going the same speed, so I didn't feel so bad. Yeah. But we climbed it pretty good. We can get up there. One of my creature comforts, one of my wish lists is I need a better horn.
Oh yeah, something more manly.
It's a little weak. It needs to be a little bit louder. But other than that, I'm pleased with it. And my dream is to hook up a fog machine to blow out of the front of the steerhead.
But that won't work when you're driving down the road.
Well, I don't know. I need to figure something out.
Well, if anyone can figure it out, you're going to figure it out.
We have to get
Speaking of which, you said you're very pleased with how it's turned out, but now that you've gone through it, what do you wish you might have done differently to start with when you went into the project?
I would have purchased the same bus, a couple feet smaller, 2 to 4 feet smaller. It'd have been nice if it was a handicap accessible bus.
So it had
got
the
a
lift
back
ramp?
door with a ramp, electrical ramp to put motorcycles in. I like the open concept design to see all the way through and through the bus, shotgun. I do like that. The couch and kitchen are a little bit too long for me because I don't use it.
You're not doing a lot of entertaining.
Not very much. It's more of just get out and about. Free your mind and enjoy the United States. I love to travel, and with our current job, Paul's my boss. We travel a lot, but we don't have a lot of time in each location. We'll go there, fly or drive. We're in and out fast. We don't get to see things. So there is a benefit of traveling for work. You see a lot of things, but you don't see the true depth of things. This vehicle, you see a lot because you're going pretty slow.
But Tony, thank you very much. This was a fun trip with the bus, and here we are back outside again. We're actually outside a school over here somewhere, back over there, which is ironic because we started outside of school, and this used to be a school bus. So it's very from one school to another. Although the view here is really awesome. I got to just quickly show you. Look at this little lake over here. Isn't that cute? That's nice. But not as awesome, not as cool as this bus. This is so incredible. I just can't say enough. It is so impressive. So again, thank you for. Now, I hope Tony's going to take me back to my car now.
Okay.
but it was fun riding in it. It was great getting to see how what it looks like and hearing the history about it. And by the way, you have a YouTube channel where you posted stuff from your journeys and taking the bus out and around. Do you recall off your top of your head what the name of that channel is?
That name is YNOT. Why not? That's Tony spelled backwards. Why not Adventures with Ed? Ed's in all the videos. In my videos, I don't have maybe 3 pictures of myself. So enjoy Ed's the adventure I had with Ed.
You get more video of him in this than
yeah.
Now, and Ed was your hiking buddy on the Appalachian Trail.
Yes, a high school friend, lives in Washington State, and I picked him up in my bus tour around the country to bring him back to Cincinnati to walk the Appalachian Trail. Okay,
so the name again?
Why Not Adventures with Ed.
All right. So if If you want to see more about, and on that channel is also some information about the history of the bus being created,
build, everything. Yeah.
And there was also a couple of, at least one, maybe a couple, where you had some issues during the trip, and he had to MacGyver some stuff in order to be able.
It's a constant work in progress.
Yeah. So those are really interesting too, to see how he just, it's kind of like when you watch MacGyver and he takes stuff and makes it and just like, oh, it's no big deal. That's the way he was too.
Yeah.
So you're watching it, you're going, what? But for him, it was. All right. Well, anyway, impressive, all of it, Tony. Good job. And with that, I will see you all next time from my front porch.